It seems like you need to be solaced, telling from the scratch on your knee. You fell and got hurt in the process, and now you come crying to me. I catered for these circumstances, and hands carry needle and stitch in my pants. Don't worry, my dear, there is nothing to fear. Just a stitch and a sew, soon it's almost as new, and the cut will adhere. After all, you have to admit it is not as severe. Oh, I have needle and stitch right here. Take care or you'll end up scarred, my dear. I can't stand to watch children bleed. Well, don't give me that kind of look now. Just keep going on, soon you will see how everything will end well, though it still may depend on your skill. I catered for these circumstances, and hands carry needle and stitch in my pants. But yet needle and thread can bear dangers instead. If you're clumsy and plump and all fingers and thumbs, it might just turn out bad, especially when it comes to delicate operations like that. Oh, I have needle and stitch right here. Take care or you'll end up scarred, my dear. I can't stand to watch children bleed. I guess I should revise my statement. The wound is not going to heal. Forget about all that I said and work harder on your stitching skill. I catered for these circumstances, and hands carry needle and stitch in my pants. Now you pay the bill for your lack of skill, and please do stop crying and mourning and sighing. Don't weep like a whelp that is painfully dying. I merely was trying to help. Oh, I have needle and stitch right here. Take care or you'll end up scarred, my dear. I can't stand to watch children bleed.
Hello, dear friends of adventure games. The spyware we installed on your computers tells me that many children are sitting at their screens again tonight. That's why I'll refrain from telling you the story that I had actually prepared for you. Of course, that's a real shame. It would have been such a good story. Entertaining explosions, a giant robotic opossum, but also with many offensive expressions and an inordinate amount of excessive violence. The story that I'll tell you instead has a slightly different flavor. It's about Lily, the most virtuous child in the entire world. And it begins in the courtyard of a small, sleepy convent school. Not too far from the place where the giant robotic opossum is sucking the brains of innocent bystanders out through their eye sockets. But enough of that. It's a beautiful sunny day, and Lily is raking the leaves in the yard with a cheery tune on her lips.
La la la, la la la.
Lily, how many times do I have to tell you not to sing while working? You know very well that I hate the sound of cheerful children. These children are driving me crazy.
Oh, there you are. Is that Mulek making you rake leaves again?
Uh-huh.
How boring. And so unnecessary, too. The leaves all drift back onto the path anyway. You should just come with me instead. I'm on a treasure hunt right now, you know? Well, it's your decision. You can always come to the swing tree later, when you're done here. I think I found something in the flower beds over there. Until then, see ya!
What's that noise outside? Ugh, it's unbearable! Lily, now I've had it up to here! I guess I overestimated you once again. You're not even fit to rake leaves. Ugh, it doesn't matter. I have 2 new tasks for you. The flower beds in the backyard have to be dug up again. Can you manage that? Uh-huh. I doubt it, but we'll see. And while you're in the backyard, the swing tree is infested by termites. Come up with something to get rid of them for good. So, one more time for the really clueless. First, dig up the flower beds. Second, get rid of the termites infesting swing tree. You'll be very sorry if you don't do a good job.
Lily had started a poem about rake prongs, but she couldn't find anything that rhymed with children's skin. In the meantime, Lily had collected many little treasures, but no treasure was as important to her as her friendship with Edna. Lily knew that this device was called an air hammer, but she didn't know why anyone would want to hammer air. Digested grass, rat, pigeon. Lily assumed these cans were meant for the cafeteria. The idea was good, but Lily's arms were too short. A shovel! That's exactly what Lily needed, but she'd never get to it from here. A brush was lying on the shelf directly below the window. Lily just had to reach out. All due respect to Lily's powers of invention, but the brush was right below the window. Lily just had to reach out. Lily couldn't paint. She would always start crying. The cellar door could only be opened with the correct key. The cellar door. The cellar door. Lily quickly realized that she would never get rid of the termites like this. She needed a better plan. The swing tree was crawling with termites. Why did Mother Superior dislike these cute little animals so much? The yard waste was rotting away leisurely in the composting bin. A paradise for maggots and spiders. Lily couldn't stop watching the fascinating activity in there. The tire swing was dangling invitingly above the chasm from a termite-eaten branch. Lily would have loved to have played on the completely harmless tire swing. That's why she immediately climbed on the termite-infested tree. At least she would have done that, but apparently she preferred the risk of getting into deep trouble as soon as the players signed off. Lily was supposed to dig up the flower bed. If she found a treasure in the process, no one could hold that against her, right?
Don't bother, Lily. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel. Don't bother, Lily.
Edna was Lily's best friend. She always knew how to cheer up Lily. For example, by sabotaging the brakes on the mailman's bicycle.
Hey, Lily, did you finally get out of doing your stupid raking chore? Very good. Then you finally got time to go treasure hunting with me? What? Did you get even more chores to do? That's so unfair. But maybe we can still find a way for you to help me. That would be cool. What do you have to do for Mother Superior now? Don't tell me you have to scrape off her warts with a pumice stone again. I'm still finding crumbs in our bunk from last time. She told you to get rid of the termites on the swing tree, right? It was just a question of time. Does she even realize how hard it was to collect them all? I even broke into the firefighters museum to get the large red ones. And then all the trouble I went to teaching them tricks. They can already do a polonaise if you lay a trail of jelly. I wanted to teach them the cha-cha next. What the hell? Maybe you can relocate them instead of blasting them out or whatever else it was you had planned. I'd even help you, but I've run out of jelly. Are you still worried about the termites? I'd really love to help you, but unfortunately, I don't have any more jelly to lure the little darlings someplace else. But when we've found the treasure, we can buy ourselves a whole jelly factory, or even better, A honey farm. I think honey is much cooler than jelly anyway. It sticks to the bottoms of your shoes better. And if we had a honey farm, we could also train the bees. Maybe there's still a chance for my project, Peepholes for the Great Wall of China, after all. Wait, Lily. This is an especially hard spot. Oh, what a drag. This is ruining all my calluses. And it took me so long to nurture them. These flower beds could really use some digging. Don't tell me that's exactly what Mother Superior ordered you to do. But that's fabulous. Then you'll be able to help me dig up the treasure after all. You don't even have a choice. You've been kind of told to by the Lord. All we still need is a shovel. The shovel, Lily. We'll never dig up the treasure without a shovel. I don't know where we can find a shovel either. I'd imagine they're kept in the cellar. Now we just need to find a way to get down into the cellar. You can't walk through walls by any chance, can you? We really have to teach you how to do that one of these days. But first you should concentrate on the shovel. It has top priority. Mother Superior is having a bad day again, isn't she? That wasn't hard to guess. The last good day she had was when everyone got mumps. I've rarely heard her laugh so hard. Don't let her annoy you too much, okay?
Where could the hose lead to? It was still a mystery what the hose could be used for. Lily didn't have to clean her tool now. Too bad. The faucet was dry. Even if Mother Superior had no faith in her, Lily knew how to use a garden hose. And definitely not like that.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to play.
How sweet. Apparently, Freeman was worried about Lily. Maybe he wanted to make sure she wouldn't fall into the well. The narrator was slowly losing interest in coming up with motives for Lily's actions. The truth of the matter was, no one knew what she was doing and why.
Hey, get lost! Go find another place to... Hey, go...
Apparently... Lily wasn't allowed into the convent until the gardening had been done. Hopefully it wouldn't start hailing again. Lily's fellow student Freeman was bent over the edge of the well. If he moved forward just a little more, he'd fall in, just like in Lily's favorite book.
No thanks. I can do it myself. Oh, Lily. I thought somebody was there. Don't bug me. I'm busy. Didn't I tell you to leave me alone? I'm trying to concentrate, okay? Something is down there in the well. I can see something sparkling. Oh man, I hope it's the key to the cellar. That would be so gumbo. Let me guess. You don't know what gumbo is, right? Oh, Lily, you're just hopelessly square. Guys as cool as me say that's totally gumbo. Or, that gumbos. But you're just lame, totally ungumbo. Really, Lily, stop talking so much. Unless, of course, you have an idea how I can get the cellar key. Just think of all the things I could do with it. I hear that awesome stuff is stored down there. Not just junk like shovels and brushes and all that. I'm talking about real treasures. don't you have anything to do? Isn't there something you're supposed to be doing for Mother Superior?
Uh-huh.
I knew it. You're such a loser for getting constantly stuck with those jobs. What is it this time? Do you have to alphabetically sort the compost again? Or remove the hair from her back? Don't tell me. You're supposed to get rid of the termites on the swing tree, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, good luck. The swing tree's made of sweet licorice, and termites are known for going crazy over candy. You'll never manage it. Let me guess. You have to dig up the flower beds, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, good luck. That's gonna take forever with your little girly hands. But don't think I'll lend you a shovel when I get into the cellar. That is, unless you do want to help me get the key from the bottom of the well.
Uh-uh.
That's what I thought. Because it's forbidden, right? Oh man, Lily. You're so straight, it's a miracle anyone can tell you apart from the trees. Is this gonna be another one of your lectures about law and order at the convent? I'm so interested. We're not allowed in the cellar. Jeez, Lily, you're like a broken record. We can't do this. We can't do that. Don't drink motor oil. Don't play with the electrical sockets. Really know how to spoil all the fun. No wonder no one likes you. What now? Can't you see I'm busy with the well? Or did your oh-so-great Mother Superior forbid that too?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah? That just proves how absurd adults' rules are. What, you're still here? Don't creep around like that. I almost fell in the well from fright. Oh, how cute. Are you worried about me now, or what? Don't worry, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna climb down into the well. But not because Mother Superior has forbidden it, just because it really is too dangerous. Although... No thanks. I can do it myself.
Lily wasn't allowed into the convent. Hopefully, it wouldn't start hailing again. When Lily returned to the well, Freeman was gone.
Lily! Help!
Lily heard strange noises from the bottom of the well. But she was a good little girl, and she knew she wasn't supposed to play near the well. Just like Freeman. She had even told him so herself. Where could he be? This hadn't been very effective. Lily wasn't hope. Even if Mother Lily and... Too bad. The faucet was dry. Where could the hose lead to? Lily would have also made a good bush. She could stand on the sidelines for hours without anyone noticing her. Lily didn't have to play with the bush. She had lots of other friends. Edna and, oh well. Mainly Edna. Lily was where could the hose lead to? What a surprise. The hose led to a thing. In Lily's experience, everything in the world could be divided into things that had to be pumped and things that didn't have to be pumped. This fell into the second category.
Lily, turn that off immediately.
Too bad.
Have you completely lost your mind? Turn that off immediately. But did I not tell you exactly what you should be doing? I just can't believe you keep finding new ways to disappoint me.
Lily didn't understand what she had done wrong. Freeman was a little grumpy, sure, but he looked so funny with those red dots and yellow honey stains. There was no way this could last long.
Lily, thanks a lot for your great help. You really did a fantastic job. If I can ever help you... Oh, you want the cellar key, but of course not. What in the world are you thinking? You're the one who got me to go into the well. It's your fault that I fell in. But instead of helping me get out, you throw a beehive on my head and nearly drown me. Look at me. I'm wet, covered in bee stings, and smeared from head to toe with honey. I know everyone thinks you're sweet and harmless, but you're actually a walking disaster. You can definitely forget about the key. You keep away from me.
Lily was proud of herself. She had found a way to get to the beehive, and the bees still seemed to be fine. Everyone was happy. Lily thought about collecting the honey with her bare hands, but then she remembered her recent scolding at the cafeteria. She needed a better plan. The termites responded very excitedly to the honey. To lure them away, Lily just had to find a good spot to spread it on. The compost bin was the ideal place to move the termites to. Lily started right away. So far, the plan had worked well. Maybe a little too well. The termites were now following Lily's spilled honey back into the courtyard.
No, don't! Get away!
Strange sounds were drifting towards her from over there. It was probably the termites celebrating their new home. Freeman had now left for good, but at least the termites had found a new home on the bench. And as if that weren't reason enough to be happy, they had been joined by one of those funny gnomes that Lily sometimes saw around. It looked like the termites had found a new home. And one of the gnomes that Lily saw now and then was in the process of painting it in various colors. Too bad that Freeman was no longer here. He would probably have liked it too. Freeman had left the cellar key for Lily. How nice of him. Mother Superior had strictly forbidden the children from playing in the cellar. On the other hand, Lily had a task to finish. Digested grass, Lily got along great with Doris, the lunch lady. That's why she knew Doris would start throwing knives if anyone messed up her pantry. A shovel! That's exactly what Lily needed. The stove was black and empty, just like the mirror that always appeared in Lily's dreams.
Yay! You found a shovel! Oh, Lily, you're the best! Let's not waste any time and dig up the treasure.
And Edna and Lily began digging out what they thought was a treasure chest.
That's quite a treasure chest. It looks like it might have belonged to some space pirates once. So what? They were space pirates from World War II. Who cares? What's more important is that they left us their treasure. Come on, let's open it. I'm so excited. Yippee! You did it! And what's that supposed to be? Those space pirates must have led a pretty miserable life if this was their most precious treasure. Well, at least we have a fabulous chest, and I already have an idea what we can do with it. We'll bury our own treasure. Do you have anything on you? Some wool from embroidery class? Wow, that's perfect! Our friendship ribbon, the string that ties us both together, so to speak. Come on, put it in there. Now we just have to bury the chest again and...
Lily! Where did that brat disappear to now? Lily!
That's Mother Superior. What does she want now? We should check before she explodes. You have to be careful, you know?
That took much too long for my liking. Is everyone finally here?
Freeman is missing, Mother Superior.
Say nothing more! Your lack of discipline has reached a level that I can no longer tolerate. From now on, all games on the convent grounds are forbidden. And until further notice, there will be no more dessert, and bedtime will be moved up by an hour. And in case you're wondering, it is the bad behavior of one specific student that has led me to take these measures. In my helplessness, I even decided to call on an expert for help. He's a renowned psychologist who will restore discipline and order here in the convent. The examination will take place this evening. The doctor will drive the mischief out of you once and for all. And I can guarantee this much. It won't be a pleasant experience.
A psychological examination? Oh, Lily, I'm sure this is all about me. I desperately need a plan. Meet me near the beds. I'll need your help.
You have the rest of the day off to think about what you've done wrong. I'd better not hear that you've used the time to create more mischief. And, Lily, I'm expecting you in my office. Now! I'm very disappointed in you, Lily. Can you ever do anything right? Not another word. Your constant excuses just make me even angrier. And now just don't stand around like an idiot. Well, get a move on. Feed the cat. Can't you see how emaciated Lumpy has gotten again? Oh, stupid child! Stop dawdling. Feed the cat.
Lumpy was hungry, or he was tired, or bored. It was always hard to tell with him.
Is that really so hard to understand? Feed the cat. I'm waiting.
There really was a can of cat food in the dumbwaiter. There wasn't much for Lily to mess up this time. The cheerful flower seemed to like Lily. At least it bent forward just a touch when Lily came close. Lumpy's bowl was nicely decorated. Life as Mother Superior's pet was probably wonderful and fulfilling.
Stop! What on earth are you doing? Bad, Lily. Very, very bad. You should really know that Lumpy doesn't eat regular cat food. But you've disappointed me for the last time. Here's the recipe for the right cat food. Bring it to Doris, the lunch lady. It contains exact instructions for preparing Lumpy's food. Doris can also find my lunch order for today on there too. Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
And now, get out. I have to prepare for Dr. Marcel's arrival. I'm hoping that his new method of correcting character flaws will save me this kind of trouble in the future.
Lily felt miserable. Maybe Mother Superior was right, and this character correction would make everything better. The thought made Lily shudder. She had heard stories about Dr. Marcel. Dreadful stories. She should tell Edna the news.
Dr. Marcel, you say? This confirms my worst suspicions. The doctor and I still have an old score to settle. I'm sure he's coming because of me. Lily, I can't stay here any longer. I'm going to leave the convent and go into hiding for a while. There's just one catch. That guy Garrett, who's constantly lurking around. I think he's spying on us for Mother Superior. So long as he keeps poking his nose into everything, I can't move freely. Do you think you can find a way to keep him off me for a while?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lily, you're such a gem. What would I do without you?
Lily had never seen Edna so worried. Not even the night that she set fire to the vestry. Lily didn't have any talent. Mother Superior only allowed her to embroider crosses and lines. But Lily could barely manage even those and often received a scolding. Lily didn't know what to do with all these brand new marbles. Up until then, she had always played marbles with severed dolls' heads. At least they had talked to her while she played. Lily had always thought Shy was very pretty, much prettier than herself. But cutting off a girl's hair while she was sleeping so that you could use it to make yourself a wig just wasn't right. That's why Lily returned each night to her bunk without actually doing anything.
Shibuya power!
Shibuya power!
Volcano Pananoka!
Shiny rainbow Miyasake! Shing! Shing!
Shibuya power!
Shibuya power!
Girl, you're so clueless about trends. Just look at how you dress. Don't you know that Shibuya and only Shibuya is hot right now? Where's your glitter? Where are your Japanese accessories?
Miyorushi sparkle! Miyorushi sparkle! Shing! Shing!
Oh man, you're really out of it, Lily. Why are you gawking at my hairdo? Don't tell me you've got your eye on my original Marushu Naoki hairpin. Can you believe it, Shy?
Don't believe, just know. The warriors of light see with the power of love.
Just who does she think she is? Hiroyoshi Superfrog's arch enemy Soki Nuroshi Mayayoki Hagatsu?
Down with the dark forces. Trust in the elf magic of the glitter dust.
Exactly. Everyone knows that a real Shibuya girl will only part with her hairpin if it's a real emergency, and only if facing death.
Miyorushi sparkle! Mystical spirit of the wolf!
Mystical spirit of the wolf!
Kamanukri! Shing!
And anyway, what even makes you think we'll let you have any of our personal things? You haven't launched any radical paramilitary campaigns or done anything to help destroy the state.
We can't let the dark forces win!
Plus, you've never helped us destroy the school.
Does being warriors of the light really mean we have to destroy the school? It seems a little too hardcore to me.
But Riot Girl does it too! On page 31 in volume 453, she puts one of Nagayuzu's detonators in the teacher's lounge when the dark forces kidnap Musushi Rainbow. Shibuya is cool! Miyarushi Sparkle! I already told you, you're not getting my hairpin. Only a true warrior of the light is worthy of it.
Powers of the light, call upon the moon spirits.
And until you start helping us fight the dark forces with a cool paramilitary campaign, don't even think of asking for our help. Miyarushi Sparkle!
Miyarushi Sparkle!
Suka was the most popular girl at the convent school. Lily would have stopped at nothing to gain her respect. But since Suka wasn't looking anyway, Lily refrained at the last moment.
Shibuya power!
Riot Girl rules!
Shing!
Shing!
Garrett was already there. Lily watched how her slippery fellow student disappeared into the chapel. After him! It was hopeless. Edna's balloon was hanging out of reach. Lily had always liked the large painting in the main hall. It showed a dining table after a big meal, with a man in the center who had found the last cookie. Lily giggled at the thought that he would eat it all by himself, no matter how much the others begged.
Who do we have here, then? Creepy Lily. How did it go with Mother Superior?
Leave her alone, Shawnee.
Only if she admits that all this trouble is her fault.
We're not getting any dessert?
That's right, Memphis. And we can't play outside anymore either.
Is it asking too much to want to know why?
Stop picking on her. You don't really think that Lily, of all people, has done something wrong, do you? She's just not cool enough for that.
Exactly. She's such a good girl. She rakes, she cleans, she cooks. It's disgusting and dangerous because somehow it always ends in a disaster. Isn't that right, Lily? Ever since you came to the convent, it's been one strange accident after another.
I hardly dare get out of bed anymore.
But none of this is your fault, is it? After all, you only do what you're told. I'm sure you're even running an errand for Mother Superior right now. Let's see what you've got there.
Shawnee!
Aha! I knew it! A recipe from Mother Superior. Well, I think I'll hold on to it for now. Let's see how Mother Superior likes having to wait for her food. And this time, our sweet Lily can face the music all by herself. Let's go, guys. We're off.
You're impossible.
What's this? Where had Garrett gone? The chapel didn't have a second exit. Frank was completely occupied with the stone slabs.
Ah, very Very good. That's exactly what I need. Now, if I only knew where to drill. But such knowledge was probably lost long ago. No one is old enough to still remember the age of the Templars. Otherwise, I'm sure I'd have long since had that church conspiracy by the scruff of its neck. Oh well, I'll just start.
Damn! How am I supposed to work with all this noise? Hey! Frank! Frank! Ah, what the hell?
The cross wobbled back and forth like it was dancing. Lily briefly considered whether she should point it out to Frank, but he was busy drilling through some kind of anchoring.
Please stay off the slabs, okay? You're interfering with my research. What's that for? If you really want to help, then decipher the symbols on the stone slabs. I think I'm drilling in the wrong spot. Don't you know anyone who's good at history? What? Huh? What? I'm sorry, but I can't understand you. You have to speak a little louder. My ears are still ringing from the drilling. Shh! You're destroying the holy illuminescence of the stone slabs. And if they lose their illuminescence, they certainly won't be in the mood to reveal their secret anymore. And there's no doubt that they have a secret. I know Templar symbols when I see them. Where there are Templars, a secret crypt with details on church conspiracies can't be far. If only I knew which slab to look under. But such knowledge was probably lost long ago. No one is old enough to still remember the age of the Templars. Otherwise, I'm sure I'd have long since had that church conspiracy by the scruff of its neck. If it's one that has a neck, because there are those with a neck and those without.
Lily was impressed. Everything Frank said made sense.
Whatever you come up with, I can think of a better conversation topic. Templars. They traveled the world before inopportune times. Actually, they were the ones who made that age inopportune. All day long, they barely did anything else than plan church conspiracies. Sometimes, even during breakfast, between their Nutella and their first cup of joe. Sorry, Lily, but I'm just not interested in small talk. All I care about are church conspiracies. There's a lot to talk about there, but unfortunately, most of it's secret. And if I don't know where to drill, I won't be able to uncover the secret anyway. So either you help me find the right stone slab, or you just leave. That would be fine with me too. Shh! You're destroying the... And I know where there only... It's such no other way if it... Because
Lily was impressed.
Please stay off the slab. You're interfering with my research.
I'd like to be able to say that Lily had a plan, that she was thinking about luring Garrett into the confession booth and locking it shut with a bar. But Lily was just thinking about ponies. Lily spent a lot of time in the confession booth. Only she knew what she mumbled during those long hours. At least ever since the father who took her confessions had died of a heart attack.
Damn! How am I supposed to work with all this noise? Hey! Frank! Frank! Ah, what the hell?
The good old confession booth. Lily had been coming here often since the self-flagellation had stopped working. I'd like to be able to, but I'd like that, but a surveillance room. That was the hard evidence that Garrett was spying for Mother Superior. A surveillance room. I'd like to be that, but at first glance, the board didn't look very exciting. But Lily was used to making do with little. While other children unwrapped their presents at Christmas, she could find happiness in a pine needle dropped from a Christmas tree. At first glance, the board didn't look very exciting, but Lily was used to making do with little. While other children unwrapped their presents at Christmas, she could find happiness in a pine needle dropped from a Christmas tree.
Damn, how am I supposed... Hey! Ah.
The cross looked very unstable. Lily didn't want to risk it falling over. Otherwise, just like the cross wobbled back. Lily,
Please stay off the slabs.
Mother Superior drank a calming tea. Maybe she should switch brands.
What are you creeping around here for? Feed the cat. Don't tell me you're done already. No. That's what I thought. I am slowly losing the will to keep constantly having to remind you children of what good values are. Take a look at the embroideries on the wall. They depict all of the important virtues. Superiority, strength, and self-control. I'm quite aware that self-control is missing. Do you think I'm blind? Now leave. I have to drink a calming tea. If you pass the classroom, remind Birgit to hurry up with her embroidering. If the self-control motif isn't finished today, I will really blow my top.
Something was missing here. And even if it wasn't Lily's fault this time, she felt guilty anyway. Just as a prevention. Edna always knew a few good jokes about bananas. But since Lily was such a good girl, she didn't understand any of them. Lily liked Doris, and her feelings were reciprocated.
What are you gawking at me for, you stupid little brat?
She was tough on the outside, but soft on the inside.
Keep gawking like that and I'll wring your neck!
At least she liked children.
Oh, how I loathe you children! I wish you'd all die of smallpox!
Aside from Edna, Doris was Lily's best friend.
What was that? You impertinent little slug! I can't stand it when people gossip about me behind my back! The youth of today is becoming ever more insolent! No wonder, with all the violence and foul language in the media! If I could, I'd twist your heads off one by one! Where are my canning jars? I need something to calm my fingers! Otherwise something terrible might happen here! Now I understand. You came to complain about the food, right? Well, then I have bad news for you. Children only get food from canning jars, and that's that. My hands are trained to twist the lids off. I haven't been wringing the necks of caged chickens for 20 years for nothing. Plus, I've got a court order that says I gotta open 10 jars a day. You can thank my idiotic lawyer for that. Before you ask for more food again, it's been hours since I held a canning jar in my hand. My hands always get a bit nervous at times like this. They break everything they touch. Children's legs, children's arms. I just can't control them. Anything else? Do I have to explain it to you with puppets? Mealtime ended long ago. The only thing that I'm still cooking today is food for Mother Superior's cat. And the food for Mother Superior herself. Or I should say I would. But my knife disappeared. And on top of that, the stove in the cellar has gone out. So I couldn't cook anything anyway. However, the most important thing is that Mother Superior still wanted to send a recipe to me. You don't happen to have it on you, do you? No recipe? Yeah, then there's no reason for you to be here. Forget the recipe. As long as the stove in the cellar is out, I won't be cooking anything anyway. Don't bother. I won't be able to cook without my knife anyway. When I get my hands on the child that stole my knife, they'll be amazed with all the things a knife can do. Put that back at once! That fruit isn't for you children! All I need is for everyone to just take what they want! What's going on? Why are you showing me that? That shouldn't be in my cafeteria! Just like you! So get out before I wring your neck! Where are my canning jars? I need something to calm my fingers!
Shawnee was mean. First he had stolen Lily's recipe, and now he was setting cobwebs at the well on fire. Still, Lily didn't think he deserved having spiders lay eggs in his eye sockets at night. Good children didn't have such thoughts.
Ooh, look who's coming to get her recipe back. If it isn't our little goody two-shoes Lily, you better split before I tie your shoelaces together. Or worse. Oh, you really want the recipe back, don't you? Well, I didn't know that. Just give me a sec so I can wrap it up for you with a bow.
Hey!
Lily was touched. It was so rare for her to get presents.
You so don't have a clue, do you? Get lost, Lily, or I'll be forced to call you names. Yeah, I'm a real badass. Just face it. You're not tough enough to make any demands around here. Tell me, how come you even dare to come here anyway? You know we're not allowed to play in the garden anymore. Or did Mother Superior send you? You could tell your beloved Mother Superior that I don't give a damn about her stupid rules. Ha! But I bet you're too scared. You're scared of your echo, right? And you should be, because one day, when you least expect it, who knows? You might turn around and see that someone has stolen your milk. Well, well, well. What's this? Is this you standing up for yourself? Just look at you, Lily, with your bow and your braids. You don't actually think you could stand up to a bad boy like me, do you? I was playing with matches before you'd said your first morning prayer. How could I ever take someone like you seriously? Do you know how to spit cherry pits? Or hunt sparrows with a slingshot? Just face it. You'll never be as tough as me, and that means you won't get your recipe either.
Shawnee didn't seem to be interested. Lily had to find some other way to impress him. Lily got along great with Doris. That's why she knew Doris would start throwing knives if anyone messed up her pantry. Memphis was trembling all over. No wonder. The stove had gone out.
Huh? What? Quick! Close the door before anyone sees me! This is the last safe place in the entire convent, and I want it to stay that way. Don't even try talking me out of it. I'm staying here. It's much too dangerous out there.
Lily had no idea what Memphis was talking about, but he'd always been jumpy.
But someone might hear you, and then they'll take away my hiding place. And if they take away my hiding place, then I'll definitely be next. The stove is the safest place in the entire convent. You know, it has a Krupp steel casing, titanium-reinforced interior walls, and is lead-coated inside. I'd even survive a bomb attack in here. Now get lost before someone discovers me. If you're looking for your recipe, talk to Shawnee. He pocketed it. La 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 la. The end of the world is near.
Lily knew she wasn't supposed to play with her food. Food was such a sore loser. And when it started acting up, Lily would get scared. Digested grass. Oh, how wonderfully the fully operational detonator on the aircraft bomb blinked. A real treasure chest. It was hard to tell, but Lily was actually speechless. In the meantime, Lily had collected many, but no treasure. In the meantime, this ball of wool was a symbol of friendship. Lily wanted it to stay in the treasure chest for eternity. This ball... Edna had apparently left an inscription here. Lily was touched. Edna was Lily's best friend. The yard waste was rotting away leisurely in the composting bin. A paradise for maggots and spiders. Lily couldn't stop watching. Lily would have loved to have played on the completely... But... Oh, how wonderfully the fully operational detonator on the aircraft bomb blinked.
What's going on? Why are you showing me that? That shouldn't be in my cafeteria! Just like you! So get out before I wring your neck! I need something to... You again? You shouldn't be wandering the cafeteria. The strangest accidents have happened then, and I have an alibi for nearly all of them. What's the matter? Why are you staring at me like that? What are you even doing here between meal times? I know what I'm doing here. A jail sentence commuted to 10 years community service on probation, thanks to diminished responsibility. Blah, 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 blah. Do you really want to hear this? Yeah, Mother Superior didn't want to hear it either. And as long as she doesn't ask about it directly...
What's that supposed to be? A Marashu Nyoki Shibuya accessory?
A sweet little Pokemon?
Or a weapon to combat the dark forces?
Shing!
Shing! What else should we do with it? What have you got now? I hope it's a weapon for the battle against... But that's a real detonator, and it's live!
You have to defuse it, Suka! Hurry!
But with what?
With the power of love!
What? Are you... Wait! I know! Phew, that was close.
We'll snitch to Mother Superior.
Exactly. This time you really went too far, Lily. What on earth are you thinking? You're even crazier than I thought.
Totally un-Gumbo.
Don't just stand there. Get that bomb away from us. Take it somewhere where it can't do any damage. A bomb-proof place, a fireproof drum, or something like that?
The hairpins sparkled seductively, but to pull them out, Lily first had to find a bomb-proof location to dispose of the warhead. It was the perfect place to get rid of the detonator.
What's that? Well, what do you have there?
Lily could finally use the hairpin.
Does it have to blink like that?
Lily closed the door again to keep Memphis's hiding place safe.
Lily?
Something seemed to be wrong with Lily's ears today. She kept hearing all these sounds. The stove was black and empty, just like the mirror that always appeared in Lily's dreams. There were those voices again, ordering Lily to burn her stuff. Too bad there was no fire in the stove. Was Lily finally now also Gumbo? Shawnee didn't seem to be interested. Lily Each mask had two tiny holes for screws. Not even Lily's fingers could fit in there. The chandelier's chain was attached by just one screw. This was certainly not the ideal tool to loosen the screw, and as long as Lily didn't have a compelling reason, she didn't have to take the risk. Lily wasn't able to loosen the screw with her bare hands. She needed a different tool. Mother Superior usually made her tea over the fire of the outside fireplace. Lily had heard rumors that disobedient children were hung from this hook. Otherwise, Mother Superior used it to hang her tea kettle over the fire. There seemed to be some kind of bracket up on the wall, but Lily couldn't continue without more light. A note was pinned on the receipt holder.
Dear, crossed out, Ms. Zimmelbach, I have to say I'm very surprised by the way you fulfilled my request to send me a pet for my students' classroom. I had a real animal in mind, one that conveyed important values, like a puma or a boa constrictor. But the guinea pig you sent is useless to me. I've pickled it in alcohol to save it for the dissection class in biology. Send me a proper animal immediately, or you will not have heard the last of me. Regardless, Mother Superior Ignatz.
The mask was tightly screwed into the wall. But did that also mean that one wasn't allowed to take it?
No, it only means you have to find the right tools. Something small enough to loosen the screws.
Oh, what luck! Lily was relieved. Lily had to confess that she was once again completely lost.
No thanks. Hairpins are useful, but I prefer to rely on my toenails. No thanks. I don't eat fruit. I'm hoping to get scurvy for my guest appearance in a pirate adventure. I already have periodontitis. Do you want to see? You're right. We have more urgent problems.
Lily had never seen Edna so worried.
Bravo! You found a board. I hope it's not part of one of those games where you have to cross a river. That's nice of you, but I don't need any marbles right now. I've lost my slingshot, you know?
Stay away from us! You're out of your mind running around here with real explosives.
Much too hardcore.
That won't work at all.
Down with the dark forces!
Capu was the nicest guy at the convent school. Lily liked him so much that she had even named her cockroach after him. That reminded her that she'd been meaning to punch air holes in the box for weeks.
Lily, nice to see you. I hope Shawnee didn't upset you too much. He's an idiot. I think you're great, just as you are.
Lily's heart skipped a beat. This might have been the nicest thing anyone ever said to her.
You seem so tense. Is something wrong?
Lily would have liked to tell him her troubles, but she didn't want to give Edna away.
Well, if you need anything, I'm always there for you. I worry about you, you know.
Someone had trapped the guinea pig in a glass. The animal took it in stride. It didn't even try breaking out. Someone had trapped the guinea pig in the animal. It didn't. Another treasure chest. Today was probably the happiest day in Lily's life. Right after the day she didn't have to eat rhubarb because one of her teeth had cracked.
Hey, don't touch it. That's my old Boy Scout equipment. Only certified Boy Scouts are allowed to touch it.
Lily had asked for a musket last Christmas. Instead, she'd been given a muskrat nibbling on gingerbread.
Hey, that's my old Boy Scout. I might be old, but I can tell you stories that'll make your ears ring. Some of them are about my old Boy Scout equipment, but only certified Boy Scouts are allowed to touch it. So get your hands. Oh.
There were 3 empty pedestals on the shelf. That could mean something. Or nothing at all. Oh, it wasn't the skeleton from biology class after all. It was just the old man again, from history class.
Oh, a visitor. What a rare animal. The hawk. But I don't mean the remake. I mean the original with extra ketchup, please. How rude of me. I forgot to tell you, how it used to be. When the pyramids were built, I was the chief flogger on the north side. Yes, in my life I've unified. Unified Tibet, I said. Back then, I served as a carpet beater under 3 different Dalai Lamas. For one of them, I was even there as a rebirth assistant in the maternity ward. It was very different from the year I was an interior decorator for the Mayas. Build a mythical sliding puzzle here, hide a few artifacts in dark alcoves over there. Oh, yes, I was building secret crypts when you were still in the indie band Inquisition Overload. But it flopped, unfortunately. The time wasn't right for that kind of music. Plus, our drummer had the plague. I got old. So old that all I'm good for now is as an exhibition piece for history class. I'll get to that in a moment. First, I wanted to tell you, telling stories takes a lot of skill. That's why I worked for a while as an exhibition piece for history class I just had to tell stories about my adventures once a week. For example, how I used to excavate secret crypts with the Templars below the school chapel. Or about my time as a lighting assistant for the moon landing. What? I must have dropped off for a moment. But I was just going to tell you an exciting story from my past. Was it the story of how I tried to navigate to Cape Town and ended up discovering the Eurasian continent? Oh, I know. I wanted to tell you how I helped the Templar Knights build the convent chapel, right? I was particularly happy because I had eaten a banana. Or was I sad because all there was to eat was coconuts again? No, the coconuts were when the Trojan mayor gave me the key to the city for my heroic valor. Or was my heroic valor while building dikes in Atlantis? But I think I had an apple that day. Wasn't I a little more sleepy in Atlantis? And angry while building the chapel? Oh, what poppycock. I'm getting everything mixed up. Fortunately, I created a memory aid just for this anecdote, so that I'd remember the location of the secret crypts below the convent chapel. Uh-oh, someone tidied up the shelf. That's where the objects for my 3 E's should be. Emotion, engagement, and eating. Now I can't... can't make a fool of myself. Now, let's see.
I've had it up to here! Haven't I told you 1,000 times already? Get the hell out! Just wait! Can I have that? I need something to calm my fingers! Thanks! That was close! Now take your stuff and get out! Now!
The guinea pig was probably tired. Hopefully, Lily would have time to play with it later. The liquid smelled like Doris's breath, or the cap of the lawnmower's fuel tank, which Lily loved to play with. The gargoyle had lost its balance long ago. Only a thin rope was stopping it from falling. Why didn't it just give up? The gargoyle seemed to worry about its companion, but it also didn't lift a finger to stop it from falling. Typical. The animal motifs were taboo for Lily. Mother Superior only allowed her to embroider crosses and lines. But Lily could barely manage even those and often received a scolding. Birgit was Mother Superior's favorite student. She had to be the happiest child in the world.
Don't even bother trying to distract me, Lily. Unlike you, I actually have a sense of duty. You don't get to be Mother Superior's favorite by just standing around like a moron all day. Like you. I work hard to get all those honors and rewards. The only thing I'm missing on my path to perfection is the Golden Girl Scouts badge on a ribbon. That's why I'm working overtime, to perfect my embroidering skills. Mother Superior loves the embroidery because the pictures of animals convey important values. But you wouldn't know anything about that. You've always been terrible at embroidering, and everything else for that matter. In case you're wondering what I'm doing here, it's called embroidering. I know it's not your area of specialty. Otherwise, I doubt Mother Superior would have banned you from taking it. What a shame. I know how much you've always enjoyed embroidering.
Lily had to admit that Birgit was right. Her productive friend was really much more talented. But that was certainly no reason for Lily to wish an incurable disease on her. Neither a disease with an oozing rash, nor a disease that causes her to cough her lungs out.
Stop bothering me. If you carry on like this, I'll never get my last award. The Golden Girl Scouts badge on a ribbon. Oh, yes. Quiet now. I just had a great idea for what I could put on the missing cafeteria banner. Damn, it's gone. Thanks a lot. Great job, Lily. If you want help, ask Mother Superior about a suitable animal role model. I'm already done with all my patterns. And remember, at this time of day, Mother Superior is always in the cafeteria, drinking a soothing tea. So don't wander into her office. We're not supposed to go in there alone. And hurry up. My grades depend on it. Oh, take your little boo-boos to Mother Superior. I'm not her deputy. Yet. But maybe that'll change once I've collected all my awards. I'm already her favorite. Why don't you get to the point already? You seem to be lacking a few important lessons in values and standards. Haven't you learned anything at all from my multi-award-winning embroidery? Each animal has an assigned character trait. Bears represent strength, And deer stand for heroic valor. There are negative role models too, of course. The porcupine, for example, is especially slow and sleepy. That's why you'll never find one on one of my banners. But maybe it's in your family's coat of arms.
The animal motifs were taboo for Lily. Mother Superior only allowed her to embroider crosses and... But Lily could... The cabinet was locked, as usual. Once again, Lily's efforts were in vain. Only Mother Superior could open the cabinet.
What's that supposed to be? An animal motif? Uh-huh. No animal motif looks like that. Animal motifs are always on a pedestal. Don't you know anything?
It was the old man in a...
Stop dawdling. Feed the cat. And don't forget to remind Birgit to finish the embroidery. If the self-control motif is self... now leave.
Mother Superior only cared about results. So why should Lily bother her with interim reports? The coconuts were quiet today, but it didn't matter. By now, Lily knew enough about shrunken heads. Lily liked apples. They were healthy, and sometimes you found worms in them. At least they listened when you spoke to them. Shawnee didn't seem to be. Lily had to find some other way to impress him.
Ooh, look who's coming to get her recipe back. If it isn't our little good... You better split before I tie your shoelaces together. Or...
Please stay off the slab. You're in. What's that for? If you really want to help, then decipher the symbols on the stone slab. I think I'm drilling in the wrong spot, don't you?
Lily had heard that alcohol didn't solve problems. That was certainly true. The guinea pig was probably tired. Lily had heard that Lily wasn't allowed to play with the things she found in the chapel, but that didn't matter. She also had fun just looking at the board.
Stay away from that.
Down with it!
Lily certainly wouldn't be able to get the firecrackers off the statue, like once again her arms were too short and her line too long. Lily certainly would. The school clock was out of reach. Once again, perfect. The hairpin fit exactly into the holes. Lily thought she had found the right tool to loosen the tiny screws, but it was just another way to waste time. Lily thought she had found, but it was. Lily took her search for the right tool very seriously. That's why she held every. Lily, she. Lily thought she had found, but this was certainly not the ideal tool to loosen the screw, and as long as Lily didn't have a compelling reason, she didn't have to take the risk.
What? Do we know each other?
Uh-huh.
No fear. I haven't forgotten your earlier question. On the contrary, I'm known for remembering everything all the time. This is thanks to a little trick I learned from an old Chinese mason long ago. All I need is a memory aid, like objects that remind me of the 3 E's. The first E stands for emotion. It tells me whether I was sad, happy, or angry in that situation. The second E stands for engagement. It reminds me of whether I overcame the situation with strength, heroic courage, or sleepiness. The third E stands for eating. To remember, I have to know which fruit I ate. That vitamins are good for the... What's the matter, sweetheart? Did you forget your question? Here's a small tip. Just try to remember the 3 E's. The first E stands for emotion. It tells me whether I was sad, happy, or angry in that situation. The second E, it reminds me of whether I overcame the situation with strength, heroic courage, or sleepiness. The third E stands for eating. To remember, I have to know which fruit I ate that day. What did you hear? The first E tell. The second E stands for engagement. It reminds me of whether I overcame the situation with strength. The two.
It was the old man's memory aid. If Lily wanted him to help her, she had to find the right objects: an emotion, an engagement, and something to eat. It was the
Keep your things to yourself. I'm sure you worked very hard for them.
It was hopeless. Edna's balloon was hanging.
That's him. That's the Dr. Marcel I've been telling you about. He looked exactly like that. Somehow that reminds me of an old friend called Peter. Not yet, Lily. It's still too early to celebrate. Ooh, guinea pigs. So cute and useful. Like you, Lily.
What's going on? Why are you showing me that? That shouldn't be in my cafeteria! Just like you! So get out! I need... You again? You shouldn't be wandering the cafeteria! The strangest accidents have happened and I...
Shawnee didn't slip. Sean. It looked like the termites had found a new home, and one of the gnomes that Lily saw now and then was in the process of painting it in various colors. Too bad that Freeman was no longer here. He would probably have liked it too. Too bad. The faucet was dry. Lily didn't have to clean her tool now. Lily didn't... Lily did... Too... In the meantime, Lily had collected but this in the meantime, Lily missed the termites. Somehow the tree seemed so sad without them. Lily would have liked to show the tree all of her great things, but it didn't even want to hear her. Oh well, Lily was used to it. Lily would have liked... Oh. It was hopeless. The tire swing was hanging so far away and seemed so unreachable that Lily thought she could almost see her popularity outlined behind it. Lily... But... In the meantime, but...
Damn! How am I supposed to... Hey! Ah.
A surveillance room.
Damn! How... Ah.
Mother Superior had forbidden Lily from eating the deadly nightshade berries, but no one had said anything about taking them. Mother Superior had forbidden, but Lily had to make sure she didn't get the skewer in her eye. It was so easy to have an accident. Lily thought this idea was delightful. The guinea pig was bound to make a huge impression as an animal role model. The guinea pig was bound to make a huge impression as an animal role model.
Huh, at least this is a regular animal motif. But do you think it also conveys really important values?
Of course it did. Guinea pigs were cute and small, but always cheerful. Lily always tried to follow their example.
Uh-huh. Well, if you say so. Come back in a few minutes. If you don't bother me, I won't take long.
Is that really so hard to understand? Feed the cat.
What are you waiting for? The banner has to go to the cafeteria as quickly as possible.
The banner was magnificent. Birgit had done an incredible job.
Ah, Birgit has finally finished the new banner, but what's that? A small, dirty guinea pig? Birgit didn't really make this, did she?
Uh-huh.
That can't be true. Can I not rely on anyone here? Just you wait. She'll get what's coming to her.
Birgit should have tried harder.
I can't even tell you how disappointed I am in you, Birgit. This is the worst job I've seen in my entire career. But don't talk back. You are bad. I will probably have to strip you of all your awards, prizes, and Girl Scout badges. You no longer deserve any of them.
But I only did what?
Hogwash. Do you really wish to contradict me? I can't believe how low you've sunk, Birgit. A guinea pig? It's unbelievable. Your work is an insult to the entire convent. Get rid of it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Your whining won't make up for your failures. Just in case you decide not to waste my time with your ineptitude anymore. Here is a motif that's worth immortalizing on a banner. The puma. Strong, precise, dignified. A symbol of self-control.
The animal motifs were taboo for Lily. Mother Superior only allowed her to embroider crosses and lines. But Lily could barely manage even those and often received a scolding. It served Birgit right. Incompetence had to be punished. Lily would have liked to comfort Birgit. But on the other hand, it really was her own fault. Lily hoped for Birgit's sake that she would try a little harder with the puma motif. The animal motifs were taboo for Lily. Mother Superior only allowed her to, but Lily...
Do we? Did I tell you about my memory aid yet? I don't think so. All I need are 3 objects that remind me of that particular or more precise. Wait. Wasn't I just about to tell you something? For now, let's see. On that day, I was particularly happy. We had just laid the stone slabs in the chapel when the Templar Knights returned from a secret meeting. First, they had to wake me because I was very sleepy. We ate a banana together. No, wait. That's not how it was. This story doesn't make any sense. Someone's been messing with my... Do we? I know exactly. An instructive story about... Unfortunately, my memory aid, if I only knew. But right now, all I can remember are 4, to be precise. As everyone knows, each different food creates exactly 1 emotion and promotes 1 characteristic. For example, I was never sad if I'd packed a few apples, because they always helped me be very strong. I could only do heroic deeds on days when I wasn't sad. On the other hand, if I was angry, I could never show great strength. Coconuts were always good at preventing sleepiness. I could only do heroic deeds on days when I wasn't sad. On the other... Do we? For now on, we had. Then they tossed this up. Do we? Because coconuts were always good. On this one specific day when I was helping the Templars, I was neither happy about an apple nor angry about a banana. But I also wasn't sad about a banana or happy about a coconut. On this one specific day when I was helping the Templars, I was neither happy about an apple nor angry about a banana. But I also wasn't sad about a banana or happy about a coconut. Fortunately, now on that sad, we had just laid the stone slabs in the chapel when the Templar Knights returned from a secret meeting. First, they had to wake me because I was very sleepy. Then they gave me a coconut. No, wait. That's not how it was. This story doesn't make any sense. Someone's been messing with my memory aid. Do we? Wait. Fortunately, I created... Now, let's see. On that day, I was particularly angry. We had just laid the stone slabs in the chapel when the Templar Knights returned from a secret meeting. First, they had to wake me because I was very sleepy. Then they gave me a coconut. No, wait. This story doesn't make any sense. Someone's been messing with my memory aid. Do we? Fortunately... exactly. Now I remember. On that day, I was particularly angry. We had just laid the stone slabs in the chapel when the Templar Knights returned from a secret meeting. They examined my work and praised me for doing a heroic job. Then they gave me a coconut. It was one of the greatest days of my life. Here, I even still have the book in which I wrote everything down, including the meaning of the secret Templar symbols on the stone slabs. And now please leave me alone. All this reminds me too much of how I once helped a little girl uncover the mystery of the secret crypt below the chapel. One day I really have to tell you that story.
The book contained the recorded memories of the elders. Most of it was faded. Only the chapter on the construction of the convent chapel was still legible. That would certainly interest Frank.
What do you have there? Let me see. My goodness, that does look very interesting. Let's see. At least those are the same symbols as on the stone slabs, but the pattern is full of gaps. I'm a comes to riddles. That's why all I need is a single glance to be able to declare without a doubt that, yes, this is a riddle. But the solution to be missing. This book is useless to me like that. Unless, of course, you have the solution. No, that doesn't make sense. I think I'll keep drilling randomly. What do you my let's at least but the I'm that's why but this is on Yes! Yes! That has to be it! I have solved the mystery! Thanks for holding the book all this time. You're blocking the way. May I?
As soon as Frank stopped drilling, Lily was finally able to draw Garrett out of his shell. Lily crouched inside the confession booth and waited. All was quiet in the chapel, except for Frank, who could barely contain his excitement.
Wow! If these bones aren't evidence of a church conspiracy, I'll eat Tom Hanks's double chin. And what's that? Hey, this just keeps going. Let me just drill through this stone slab and... But that's a sword! A real Templar sword! It's incredible! Man, it sure is wedged in tightly. I hope that isn't a load-bearing strut beam.
The impact echoed through the entire church. Lily was tempted to look, but then she heard approaching steps.
It's so blissfully quiet. I can finally take up my listening post again.
Lily was always happy when something was left over, but usually it was only breadcrumbs and bones and things like that. Lily was all but the embroidery was of a unicorn with 8 legs. Lily loved the unusual embroidery more than anything, but she didn't know who had made it. When asked about it, Mother Superior was even more vexed than usual.
What's going on? Why are you showing me that? That shouldn't be in my cafeteria! Just like you! So get out before I wring your neck! I need...
Lily decided to leave Birgit alone. The hard-working student needed time to think about her mistakes. The school clock was once